Hello secret agents. Your mission for this task is to learn how to read Morse code and also learn some basic electronics, and we're going to be using the Chibi LED system to do this. So in order to have everything you need, we've got 14 centimeters here of copper tape, and this is sticky copper tape, so it's very useful. We've also got 7 centimeters of copper tape, so that will be for our negative path, and this will be for our positive path. We have a piece of paper which is about 4 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters, and that's going to form the switch. We have a 3-volt battery or a coin cell battery. The positive side is the side that has the plus on it, and the negative side has the side which is almost like it looks like it's perforated. It's quite rough. And we have our little Chibi lights. Now this is a really cool invention. They've basically created a light source that is a sticker. So in the past, before this was crowdsourced, they actually only had LEDs in the traditional way, which is the ones that you're probably used to seeing, the ones with legs, which look like this. And now you can buy them in sticker form, which means they're far more user friendly. So for this task, we have a printout of our card, and I'll show you how this is all going to work. On the back of your printout, you actually have the instructions to create this basic circuit. Now, because it's lighting a very small LED, we don't need a resistor in this case. Every other time you light a LED, you will need a resistor, but for this, we don't need it. Okay, so let's have a look here. We have the negative side of the battery, which is this perforated side here, will sit there, but for it to actually work, it's going to need to be linked up to a cord or a wire, or in this case linked up to our copper tape. So when you're working with copper tape, you don't want to cut it if you don't have to. You're better off to actually have it folded. And this can be a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it makes a lot of sense. This copper tape is very useful. If you want to, you can even cut it down so that it's thinner, and then you can create designs with it if you wish. So imagine our battery sitting there. We're going to just cover that grey line with our copper tape. Now, it's not like when you normally work with different colored wires, because both of them will be copper, but you should be able to see where the minus ones or the negative ones go based on exactly where you're putting them in the path. So you'll notice I'm going to push it back, then I'm going to fold it around so that I have more of a right angle, but I'm not actually going to lose the conductivity there of the copper by cutting and sticking another piece on. Now that is quite long. I'm going to just trim that back a little bit, and that's where my Chibi sticker is going to sit. So I need to cover this triangle a little bit so that my Chibi's got enough room to be conductive. Okay, that little piece we can use for something else later. Take my positive wire, okay, or my positive copper, okay, and we do not want these wires to touch, okay, because the Chibi is going to be in the center there, so we can just put that on the plus side, okay, make it over to that corner, then again we're going to fold it back, fold it across so we can get that right angle with the tape. It's a bit tricky, but you'll get the hang of it, and it doesn't have to be perfect because this is going to be on the inside of the card. Now the next part's interesting. We're going to take our paper switch, which is this, which is just a little piece of paper, grab a little piece of sticky tape, and we're going to just stick that down there, and that's going to form part of the circuit, and you'll see what I mean in 1 second. Okay, so stick that down so that it's not going to interfere. And you'll see now that the paper can flip forward and flip back, okay? Now we're going to turn this again, so turn it on a right angle so that we get that lovely square circuit. There we go. Come right down across your paper switch, just like that. And you'll see it's too long. That's great because we want to actually turn that over, and that's still going to be conductive. Okay, so that's where your paper switch will sit. Can everybody see that okay? Alright, now for the fun part. We're going to put our Chibi sticker on. Now, when you buy a regular set of these, you will get some coloured ones and you'll get some white ones. I'm going to use a blue for the cityscape today. Okay. Now, there's a trick with these chibis. You'll see that if you zoom right in, you can see there is a minus and a plus side. So the minus side needs to connect to the negative side of the battery, okay? So the minus side is the smaller side, which is easy to remember. The plus side is going on the longer side, so that will be touching the plus side of the battery. Okay, so minus side sits there. We put our conductor over the top, and you can see we get a light source. Now you've got choices here. You can actually stick that down and then you've got a permanent light source, or you can have it as a press button. That's what the switch is for. Now what we'll do is we'll fold the card up and see how that looks. Okay, our card's folded up now, and you'll see that inside you've got all your electronics. Okay, then if you open it up, you've got the international Morse code, so you can work out where the Morse code is and what it says, and you can actually write your own personal message in here and give it to someone you like. So I will just show you what it looks like with the lights off, but there's our press button lighting up the city. So does that seem like an operation that you would be comfortable with, Agent X? See how you go. You could use your card to send a Morse code signal to someone.